Have you ever felt drained after trying to please everyone around you only to realize that your own dreams and happiness have been pushed to the corner? Many of us live life like that, running in a race that isn't even ours. Today we are going to solve a very simple yet powerful problem. How to stop giving all your energy to everything else and finally focus on the most important person in your life, yourself. This is not selfishness. This is self-respect. And once you learn this, everything else in life starts to fall into place. Have you ever noticed how often we spend our days measuring ourselves against others? How much of your energy goes into trying to fit into someone else's expectations? The moment you begin to focus on yourself, you start to understand that your life has a unique purpose. Self-worth is not about achievements, wealth, or status. It is about recognizing that you are enough as you are and that your life has value just because you exist. Think about it this way. When a lamp burns, it gives light. But if you ignore its need for fuel, eventually it goes out. Similarly, if you keep pouring all your time and energy into pleasing others, you are emptying yourself without replenishing your own soul. Focusing on yourself means acknowledging your needs, your dreams, and your health as priorities. It does not mean abandoning responsibility, but it does mean that you're first. Responsibility is towards the person who's with you all the time, yourself. Once you accept your own value, your perspective changes. Decisions that once seemed overwhelming suddenly become clear. You start to set boundaries not because you are harsh, but because you respect your own energy. People who genuinely care for you will respect those boundaries. And those who don't will focus on yourself helps you stop wasting energy trying to win approval from the wrong people. Focusing on yourself also means identifying your priorities. Many of us juggle tasks that don't align with what truly matters, believing that being busy equals being successful. The truth is, busyness is not the measure of a meaningful life. Clarity of purpose is. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? Am I investing time in my health, my skills, my relationships that nourish me? Or am I just reacting to what the world demands? Once priorities are clear, every action you take is intentional. You stop drifting and start moving in the direction that brings fulfillment. Understanding self-worth is the foundation of all growth. Without it, focusing on yourself may feel selfish or even uncomfortable. But the more you recognize that your life is precious, the easier it becomes to align your energy with what truly serves you. You realize that taking care of yourself is not an indulgence, it is a necessity. And this understanding will guide every choice, every conversation, every moment of your day when you decide to focus on yourself. One of the first challenges you face is the noise around you. Life is full of distractions, people who demand your attention, opinions that drain your confidence, and habits that slowly steal your energy. These distractions are not always obvious. Sometimes they come disguised as kindness, advice, or helpful suggestion. But if your focus is scattered, even small influences can slowly pull you away from the life you want to build. Think about your day. How many hours do you spend scrolling through social media, comparing your journey with someone else's highlight reel? How often do you listen to conversations that bring negativity or gossip into your mind? Each of these seemingly small moments accumulates and slowly becomes a weight on your energy, your motivation, and your peace of mind. To truly focus on yourself, you must become intentional about where your attention goes. You must learn the art of saying no without guilt and detaching from things that do not serve your growth. Negative influences are not always external. Often they come from within self-doubt, fear of judgment, and past failures. These internal distractions can be even more powerful because they disguise themselves as caution or realism. But the truth is, they hold you back more than they protect you. When you start focusing on yourself, you begin to question which thoughts and voices deserve space in your mind. You stop letting fear dictate your choices and start listening to the voice that encourages growth, resilience, and courage. Eliminating distractions also means reevaluating relationships. Are the people around you supportive of your growth? Or do they feed your insecurity? Focusing on yourself does not mean isolating yourself, but it does mean curating the company you keep. When you surround yourself with people who inspire, challenge, and uplift you, your energy multiplies. When you distance from those who drain or distract, your clarity and focus increase. Another powerful distraction is the habit of overcommitting. We often say yes to too many things, events, favors, obligations without thinking about the cost to our energy and time. Focusing on yourself requires the courage to say no, to create space for the activity that truly matter, and to protect your mental and emotional bandwidth. It is a disciplined act, but one that yields immense freedom and peace. Ultimately, eliminating distractions and negative influences is not about avoidance. It is about alignment. It is about clearing the clutter from your mind and your life so that your energy flows toward what nourishes you. When you make this shift, you notice an immediate change. Your thoughts become clearer, your decisions become wiser, and your connection with yourself deepens. Focusing on yourself is not just a decision you make. Once it is a lifestyle that grows stronger with consistent habits. Habits are the invisible architecture of your life. They shape your thoughts, influence your energy, and define the outcomes you experience. When you intentionally build habits that nurture your growth, you are creating a life where progress becomes natural and distractions lose their power over you. The first step in building growth-oriented habits is understanding that small, consistent actions outweigh occasional bursts of effort. Many people wait for motivation to strike, believing that monumental change requires monumental energy. But growth does not work like that. It is the quiet choices you make every day, the decision to read instead of scroll endlessly, to exercise even when tired, to speak positively to yourself instead of succumbing to self-criticism that compound into significant transformation. These habits are the seeds of your future, and when nurtured consistently, they blossom into confidence, skill, and resilience. Another critical habit is reflection. When you pause daily to assess your thoughts, emotions, and actions, gain clarity about what is serving you and what is holding you back. Reflection allows you to course correct without judgment, to celebrate small victories, and to realign with your priorities. Without this practice, even well-intentioned effort can drift into autopilot, leaving you busy but not truly growing. Reflection teaches you discipline over your mind, reminding you that the most important project you will ever work on is yourself. Equally important is the habit of learning and curiosity. Focusing on yourself means investing in your intellectual, emotional, and spiritual growth. Read books that expand your perspective, listen to conversations that challenge your thinking, and seek experiences that stretch your comfort zone. Every new insight becomes a tool that strengthens your capacity to navigate life. When growth becomes habitual, you start seeing challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to evolve. Consistency in habits also strengthens resilience. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances rarely align perfectly with our plans. But when your growth is rooted in daily habits, you carry a sense of stability and control even in chaos. Your mental strength, emotional balance, and clarity of purpose are cultivated quietly, moment by moment, through disciplined actions that accumulate silently until their impact is undeniable. Finally, nurturing habits must include self-care. Physical health, mental clarity, and emotional well-being are interconnected. Habits like proper rest, mindful eating, meditation, and intentional breaks are not indulgences. They are necessities that fuel your capacity to focus, create, and contribute. When you honor your body and mind with these small rituals, your energy becomes a renewable resource rather than a dwindling one, allowing you to show up fully in every area of life. By building habits that nurture growth, you transform focusing on yourself from a temporary choice into a sustainable way of life. Your days gain structure, your mind gains clarity, and your heart gains the courage to pursue what truly matters. One of the most powerful yet overlooked steps in focusing on yourself is learning to embrace solitude. In today's world, we are constantly surrounded by noise, distractions, and demands. We fill our hours with social interactions, notifications, and obligations, often avoiding the quiet moments when we are left alone with our thoughts. Yet, It is in these moments of solitude that true self-discovery, clarity, and inner peace emerge. Solitude is not loneliness. Loneliness is the painful absence of connection, but solitude is the intentional presence of yourself. It is a conscious choice to step away from the chaos and sit quietly with your own mind and heart. In solitude, you can reflect on your values, desires, and dreams without interference. You can observe your thoughts, notice your patterns, and identify what truly makes you happy. When you embrace these moments, you begin to understand yourself on a deeper level. The person you are, the person you want to become, and the life you want to create. During solitude, distractions fade, and the mind becomes sharper. It is in these quiet moments that many of life's most important insights emerge. You may notice habits that no longer serve you, thoughts that need healing, or passions that were buried under busyness. Solitude allows you to confront your fears and doubts with honesty. You begin to realize that the answers you seek are not always found in external validation, but within your own reflection. Embracing solitude also strengthens emotional resilience. When you are comfortable being alone, you are no longer dependent on others for your happiness or approval. You learn to enjoy your own company, to nurture your own spirit, and to find contentment within. This inner stability becomes a foundation from which you can engage with the world more authentically. Relationships improve, decisions become wiser, and you stop being easily influenced by external pressures. Another important aspect of solitude is creativity. When your mind is free from constant distraction, it begins to explore ideas, solutions, and inspirations that were previously buried. Many of life's greatest breakthroughs come in moments of quiet reflection, when you allow yourself to think deeply, dream boldly, and imagine possibilities beyond the immediate. Solitude becomes a fertile ground for growth, innovation, and self-expression. Finally, embracing solitude is a practice in gratitude and presence. When you slow down and spend time with yourself, you notice the beauty in small moments, appreciate your journey, and reconnect with your purpose. Life becomes less about reacting to endless demands and more about intentionally creating a life that aligns with your values. Solitude teaches you that peace is not found in the absence of challenges, but in the presence of a centered, focused, and self-aware mind. When you make solitude a regular part of your life, you unlock the ability to focus on yourself fully, to cultivate clarity, and to nurture the inner peace that empowers every other aspect of your journey. We come to the close of this journey. Take a moment to reflect. Life often asks so much of us: attention, energy, love. But how often do we give that same care to ourselves? Focusing on yourself is not selfish. It is the foundation for everything you want to create, every relationship you want to nurture, and every dream you want to pursue. When you honor your worth, eliminate distractions, build habits that serve growth, and embrace moments of solitude, you are not just surviving, you are thriving. Remember, the most important relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. And the more you invest in that, the more light, clarity, and purpose you bring into your life and the lives of those around you. Today, take that step, give yourself the attention, the care, and the love that you truly deserve.